Hello and welcome to the second episode of Appropriate Audiences of the Fall 2015 semester. I'm your host, Jason Zalman. This week, I'm joined by Matt St. Ange and Adam Northangelo. This episode, we will be talking about the new film, The Martian. During a manned mission to Mars, astronaut Mark Watney is presumed dead after a fierce storm and left behind by his crew. But Watney has survived and finds himself stranded and alone on the hostile planet. With only meager supplies, he must draw upon his ingenuity, wit, and spirit to subsist and find a way to signal the Earth that he is alive. So guys, what were your initial reactions of the film?
Well, if I'm being honest, I feel like it was every Matt Damon movie and every movie about space all at the same time. Even when we're not on Earth, we have to save Matt Damon, and every space movie's the same. But no complaints.
I was thinking this is how like the third space movie in like the last couple years. I left the theater just feeling like, I'm glad I went. It was, yeah.
Do you think it was anything better than, like what you said, as far as space movies, like in the past few years? Was it any better than Gravity? Or
Well, with Gravity, you're on your toes the entire film. It's like 2 hours of just stress-induced, like what you get when you're in an exam and you haven't studied the night before.
Exactly.
Whereas like The Martian's like kind of, it's a little bit more of a journey. Like there are moments like when he's like sidling along the space station, you're on the edge of your seat and you're like, oh my god, he's gonna make it, is he gonna die? I don't know. And then there's just relaxing moments where he's just like wandering across the desert, just saying funny one-liners, and you're all right with it.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think of the cast? Do you think there was anybody that had like a breakout role in this film?
Well, breakout role, no. I actually feel the exact opposite. I feel that once again, a Hollywood group decided to take Donald Glover and underuse him. So I think that he has so much talent, and he's great, and he needs a main role. And he got a little tiny bit of screen time and one giant revelation that
He
changed
was like
everything.
the savior in it, which is great because he is, like you said, he's a great actor. He's so talented in what he does. But you're right. I think he should have had more screen time.
Well, that's one problem you had with having something from a book going to the movie. Like all like these characters that are supposed to have a huge impact get less screen time and you don't get the full effect. Like the whole ship crew that went with them, like you didn't see them for like the first half of the movie besides the opening, and then like they're supposed to have all these developed personalities. Like there was a relationship that came out of nowhere, and I went with someone who read the book saying like, oh, that was very like developed and made sense. Whereas you watch the movie, you're like, oh, that's a thing.
That happened.
Yeah, all right. You just went along with it.
So, Matt Damon was the main character, and it's kind of funny because Matt Damon is the main character, but there's so many other actors in this film. Do you think this is his best role as of late, in the past few years or so?
I think it was a good role in the way that it was a role with the most upside. I feel like Matt Damon was given a role and it had limitless potential. And he did a good job with it. Nothing fantastic or to write home to mom about. But no complaints about it, I guess.
Yeah, he delivered a good performance. I mean, I've seen him in better roles. We've all seen him in better roles. Like even just like Kid from South, he just like doing math, like,
Yeah, exactly.
and he's still kind of doing math and science. So it's like
exactly, yeah.
He's just kind of not going too far. It's still like it's a nice role to play out, like for really any actor who's got like some talent.
Yeah, like I said before, I think there were so many different great actors in this movie that like I don't think there's anyone that was like so fantastic in it where we were like, wow, like that person was so much better than Matt Damon. I just didn't think that happened. So do you think this is gonna bring home some Oscars this year or awards, or what do you think?
I feel like there hasn't been enough crazy competition for it not to bring home at least an Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think, on a good year, I don't think so necessarily.
I think I'll definitely get some nominations. If anything, just the visuals of the environment of Mars. Yeah. Like you really felt it was an alien planet, but it wasn't like something out of Star Wars or whatever where it's just completely strange. It was familiar but alien.
Do you think Matt Damon would get nominated?
Definitely not.
Definitely not?
I mean, maybe nomination. Definitely not going to bring anything home.
So what did you guys think of Jeff Daniels' role in this movie? You know, he is a big name actor, and for him to have a supporting role like this, I think he shined in this movie. What do you think?
I feel like Jeff Daniels did a great job with the role that he was given. After having read the book first, before seeing the movie, the character that Daniels was given wasn't quite as developed as he developed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to give him credit for that.
I thought it was a lot like his character from the newsroom, just kind of serious, bureaucratic kind of guy, but I still think he did a good job. I mean, if anything, he'll definitely like be nominated for a Golden Globe, but it wasn't something that like blew me out of the water, but it wasn't really a great year for a lot of performances like that.
So another actor that was in this movie was Kristen Wiig, and Kristen Wiig is known for comedic roles and how funny she is. So do you think this is a role for her that can make her like kind of branch out of the comedic world, or just kind of just stick with comedic movies?
I think this was a bit of a one-time thing. I think that she shines the most in those comedic roles. But you know, you gotta keep yourself on your toes and test the waters and different things. So, no harm done.
She did a decent job.
Absolutely.
I think she did, for her small role, I think she did great. I wanted her to like break out into some jokes, you know, like how she usually does, but I think it was good for what she had to offer.
I think it was a step, definitely, like, especially for people who come from SNL, people just know you for comedy and expect that from you. Just like Melissa McCarthy wasn't from comedy, but that's like all she does. She's been typecast. Mm-hmm. So like just kind of
she's been trying to break out.
Yeah, she has, and now Kristen Wiig's kind of like do something serious. It's an example of what she can do, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad.
So, would you guys see this again? Watch on Netflix or just pass?
I definitely wouldn't pay to see it again, being that there is a laundry list of space movies that are, in my opinion, better and more ground-shaking, I guess. But Netflix, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Especially with someone who hadn't yet seen the movie.
Yeah, it's definitely a movie to bring home. Just kind of like for a relaxing night. Well, maybe not relaxing when, you know, they're trying to coordinate in space, but still, it's a good movie to bring home.
Thank you, guys. That's all we have this week for Appropriate Audiences. See you next time.